Hey, what's up, everybody? I actually just wanted to make a quick little video, really quick, because I've had people ask, or I've had a couple questions asked about condensation, and stuff of that manner. Even had a few times people saying messy stuff, saying messy or whatever. First things first, a test bench is not meant to look pretty. A test bench, it has only one goal: to performance and put out numbers. Now, yes, I'm getting everything set up for this winter. However, this winter I'm not going to be running the Z590 Dark Kingpin. I'm going to be running the Z790 Dark Kingpin with the 14900K, which that will be delidded lap with electric metal, liquid metal, same thing as I have my 10900K now. And I will also be getting the copper water block as I have with the 10900K. I'll have that with the 14900K when it comes out. As for the RAM, yes, I'm going to be doing the same thing I did with this when I had my Trident Royals, which was the best of the best for DDR4. One of the best top of the line RAMs for DDR4. But I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going right back to Trident, getting the RAM with the tightest DDR5 RAM that I can get. I've never played with DDR5 RAM, so it's going to be new for me. Going to be some fun. Any new toy is always fun. Come on now. If you're an enthusiast and you like playing around with hardware, anything new is fun. Don't care how you word it. Everything I do is 100% on water. Yes, my radiators are attached to my AC. I believe it's a 500 BTU AC or 5000 BTU AC. There are two rads here. One's for the CPU, one's for the GPU. Back one's GPU, CPU's front one. The front one's 60 millimeter. Back one is 80 millimeter. I do want to get another 80 so I could have 80 and 80 all together. I had already explained before how the loops are designed or how I set them up. The one thing I forgot to mention is why I have the DD5 pumps where I have them is when the loop gets colder, down to around 5C, even lower, even when you go to sub-zero, the loops have a temperature, or the pumps have a temperature range of where they work at. And when you get down to those levels, the pumps start to slow down, meaning they don't pump as well. The reason why that the pumps are just after the reservoir and go directly back into the radiator is because the whole goal is after the water gets warmed up a little bit by the hardware, it goes into the reservoir, which holds it even longer, allows it to build up more temperature to get warmer, then into the pump. So the whole system works for me. I don't work for it. And the cooler I can keep, the warmer I can keep the warmer I can keep the water in the reses, the better the pump will run. But at the same time too, I keep it cold enough so the radiators don't have to do much work to keep it cool. And that's also why I have the flow reversed, meaning the inlet is in the top and the outlet is in the bottom. Or my apology, why the inlet is in the bottom and the outlet is on the top. Because when the water goes down the radiator and comes up, there's back pressure holding that back, so the water stays in the radiator longer, which means it gets even colder before it comes out. And then when it hits the actual equipment, as in this case, or the hardware in this case, the GPU or the CPU, it's brute force cold. That's what it is. And both GPU and CPU have liquid metal on them. The water block on GPU has got a very light lap on it. Didn't go crazy with that at all. Or the die has a very light lap on it. I may do a little bit more of a lap on it. I don't know yet. On the back of the GPU, it's got the liquid electrical tape, and that's to help fight condensation. Because in the wintertime, I do fight trying to keep the water from freezing. And how I actually do keep it from freezing in the wintertime is, believe it or not, and it does work, and it prevents corrosion as well, is I add a little bit of antifreeze to the water. Same antifreeze you put in your car. I take it and I put it into the loop so it keeps the water from freezing, as well as it acts as like an anti-corrosive, and it also lubricates the peller in the pump. I do run in the water now antifreeze. I believe it's maybe a tablespoon or two, maybe, if that, to the gallon, which works out beautiful. So yeah, it's 100% water. That's what it is. But yeah, so that's pretty much that. And again, on the end of the condensation, the GPU is already set up for it. I mean, on the end of condensation for the water aspect, the GPU is set up for it. On the end of the motherboard, I never have a problems in the wintertime with it, because what I do is when I benchmark in the wintertime, I cool the entire room down and then hit the hardware. So the room temperature is quite cold, because in the wintertime, yes, I wear a jacket or a hoodie when I'm benchmarking, because the room, yes, gets that cold. Plus, I have the window open, so any warm, so I even got the cold air from outside being coming in the room as well. So it's consistent cold from both the AC and the outside. Plus, it being cold outside, it also boosts the cooling performance of the AC as well. But pretty much how it's all set up is no different than how I did it last year. It's just the loop is a little bit different, and well, on the end of the motherboard, GPU, and all that, I already spoke on that. The RAM I have in here now, yes, it is Trident, but it's a lower bin, so yeah, can't really push it much at all. It sucks for clocking. But this winter, I'm not looking to benchmark with none of this. I'm just getting everything set up for this winter time. The only thing that's really going to get changed out is the motherboard and the CPU and the RAM, really. Got the EVGA 1000 watt, I think it's a G5 power supply. Probably going to be upgrading to the 1600 watt. Will I ever need it? No. In my case, just to have it, because I want it. That's it. But yeah, on that end, that's how I pretty much take care of that. And then when the day comes, there's a lot of people that I know who do XOC that want to see me on dry ice, and then also want to see me on LN2. When it comes down to when I hit dry ice, because at that point in time, everything's going to have condensation no matter what, because you can't just get the temperature that cold. So to help fight condensation, I'll cover the entire back of the PCB of the GPU in liquid electrical tape, and I'll also cover the entire back of the motherboard in liquid electrical tape. But yeah, so that's pretty much it on that end. Oh, and the reason why I do liquid electrical tape, man, it sounds like, it almost feels like a tongue twister when you go say it quick. But anyway, the reason why I do liquid electrical tape is because when you do XOC, anybody who knows it and who has seen somebody do it that hits the list and hits like your first place and etc., who pushes stupid high clocks, most of the time they're covering their motherboards and their GPUs in like petroleum jelly. Yeah, it's very good, as it's not non-conductive. It's very good, but in the end, you got to clean it. It's messy, yada yada yada. How do I get around it? And some other people I know to do the same thing too. Use liquid electrical tape and go right to your hardware store and buy it in the bottles, and it literally just paints right on. Takes a few moments to dry, and if you ever want to remove it, it literally peels right off just like tape. But it's also waterproof. It's also water resistant. So if water drips on it or it starts getting condensation on it, it's not going to harm the GPU or the CPU. Yes, believe it or not, when you get to certain levels with LN2, you actually put a heater socket. You actually put a heater. There's custom heaters that are made that you actually put on the back of the CPU socket, on the back side of the motherboard. But I'm pretty sure I can get away with it with using liquid electrical tape. When I try that idea, yeah, I'm going to be buying a cheap garbage CPU that I don't care about, and then I'll try that out. So if it doesn't work, it's a cheap garbage CPU. Tried it out, didn't work. Okay, then I know I got to invest into a CPU socket warmer. Yeah, so that's pretty much that, and that's about 10 minutes in. Video's long enough. I explained everything that I wanted to explain. So, oh, there's one little thing. As for the daily end, here's the cool thing: is I could drop temps like a rock anytime I want to, just by taking and turning the AC on, and I just turn it right down to 60. But at the same time too, if I want to use it, if I don't want to use the AC, I don't have to, because here's the cool thing: these fans are actually pulling air through the radiator, so it acts like the fans in your cases. And if I want to take and I want to do benchmarking or push clocks or whatever the case may be, this plug right here, which is my fan header, I unplug that right there, and these fans will actually stop spinning, which will allow the AC to blow the air through, because with these fans on, believe it or not, it actually blows the air through quicker, so it doesn't cool things down as quick or as efficiently. But I can actually take, and as you see, turn the fans off, run the AC, so the fan and AC controls all that. And being at the fan to AC, it blows out slower than these fans actually pull out. The air stays in the radiator longer, or in between the fins longer. And then if I just want to go daily with no problem at all, just take this plug here and plug it back into my CPU optional fan header, which, come on, and voila, back up and running. And as you can see, the AC is not on, no fan, no nothing. So yeah, that's pretty much that. And yeah, with that being said, have a good one, peeps.